Okay. All right. And then whenever the first is, we'll just plug those ones in up there and get ready for freezing it. And those are, yeah, those are all solar, the ones on the trees and stuff, so you guys shouldn't have to worry about those at all.
How's the new job?
I'm enjoying it.
Good.
That thing keeps dropping. Kill them back there?
I don't know. Now I blocked you in.
Now that this isn't working at all.
I know. I just didn't want to stand and eat.
You can sit in the chair, you just need to be there.
And I need a table because I'm a sloppy eater. I feel like I need to.
So we need to.
I feel like I need to get Jan something.
Why?
Like a big hug. She looks pretty pissed off today.
It's like
That's worked. No, it's worked. No, that's it. Nice. So this one should be working. They're still doing that, huh? Yeah, so we're picking it up here.
Hey, thanks for doing Philly today.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So obviously just go give them this. And whoever's presenting can talk into that, and then
I believe in you, Trevor. He taught? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, you had to sit through his class.
How am I going to hold all these things? I guess I'm going to hold this.
Nobody wants to sit up on the front rows? So I know it looks funny having me walk around with my microphone. It doesn't work because it's going to the camera. Yeah. So I'll pretend like it's working for you guys, and hopefully those that on the camera can hear me as well. So we wanted to start off today by just welcoming any new employees that we have. Anybody that hasn't been to a previous all-staff meeting. So, all right, we've got a few in this. So maybe if you don't mind, if it's not too much to ask, stand up and introduce yourself and tell us where you're working. So Jake, start. Sure.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jake Sims. I've been working for just a couple months in the building.
Welcome. All right. Next.
My name's Amanda. I work over in the crayons department. We just started like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Welcome.
Me?
I'm William Lewis. I'm IT. I started last month.
Great. And then I'm sorry, I don't know everybody's names yet, so go ahead.
Oh, I'm Sarah. I'm just a student.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, welcome just a student.
That's why I'm
That does not surprise us.
And then anybody else that has been on staff before? I know you. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Let's just so you're aware of the new employees we've hired, and you may or may not be on this list, just depending on how you fell into. I do this with board meetings as well, so I update it every board meeting. So if you were on the previous board meetings, you will not be on this one. So I apologize if it looks like you missed yet. So we hired Amber Shaw as an RN in Med-Surg, Charlie Fancher, RN Med-Surg, Lacey Gibbons, RN Med-Surg, Michaela Laker, CNA Care Center, Hannah Hutton, Dietary Tech, Tara Wheeler, Ward Clerk Med-Surg, Laura Lee Coates, Ward Clerk Med-Surg, Kristen Moser, Ward Clerk Med-Surg, Amanda, Patient Access Coordinator, Sadie Thayer, RN Med-Surg, Destiny Kennington, Environmental Services, Victoria Coolidge in Admissions. And we're broke. Can't handle it. I think we have a few more, maybe. That is not where we're at. Okay. There we go. William Lewis, IT Help Desk, and Ruby Taylor is the CNA Care Center. And Alexander Tatum, Environmental Services, and Leanna Dahlgren in Admissions. And then we just remind our open positions, and then if you refer somebody, they stay for 6 months, and they get a $500 referral bonus. So. All right. I'm gonna turn the time over to Bren to go through a couple things here. So, Bren, you want to come up?
So we'd like to.
No, that's going to the machine back here.
Does it work at all? It
It doesn't work for us.
For the benefit of those online.
Thank you. So we'd like to share any great things that are going on, whether they're patient stories or things in your department, or great things that you teamwork that you've seen from other departments. One great thing. Josh, you want to share what happened this week in your area?
Yeah.
So we got the tele-oncology going. We had our first patient on Monday, and that seems to have gone very well. So
what does that mean for patients? How often are they here? Can they get chemo here? What's
we can do chemo, most chemos here. We don't do radiation here. We will be visiting our tele-oncologist every Monday between 1 and 3. So for our patients, it's going to be a great resource, I think.
Now you have the microphone in your hand.
I'll pass on that.
Thank you, Josh. Chrissy.
So we had a patient who was with us for us quite a while in order to get that individual home. We needed to do some work as far as getting our house cleaned up. And so a group of individuals went out there, we have a few over here, that they cleaned up the house, took care of a lot of stuff in order to make it so that patient could go home. So that was just so cool. You didn't say the name. I know, well, I wasn't sure you wanted to. I felt like he was avoiding my gaze for a reason.
So who does that besides you? Exactly. Besides fantastic Star Valley Medical Center team, because that is going above and beyond. I don't know a lot of organizations that would go that far and go to their home and do that on behalf of the patients. So thank you. Sherry.
I don't want the mic, but we had
They hear you if you don't take the mic.
You gotta talk on the mic.
Okay, we had a patient from Colorado. I think they moved here, and when she came, she was so impressed. She says, I can't believe you guys actually act like you like your jobs and you're happy here because where she came from, they did not. That was awesome.
Thank you, Sherry. Others? Keep it rolling. Matt has your new space.
Excellent.
Any others?
The Philly cheesesteak today was awesome. Super good.
Way to go, Kevin.
So if you didn't hear that comment online, they appreciated the lunch today from Food Nutrition Services. Okay. Any other things that you want to hear from us today? We'll let you at least think about that. You have time before the end of the meeting to ask this question if we don't cover it throughout the meeting. But if you have a burning question right now, please ask it or raise your hand. We'll give this to Trevor.
So in the last meeting, I mentioned that we didn't bring any tomatoes for you to throw at me. I want to talk a little bit about the renewals for our health insurance, and just kind of go through some of the challenges that we have right now. How many of you know what it means to be self-insured? Okay. Matt, you want to maybe help me explain that? No? Okay. So self-insured, there's a couple ways you can have insurance. You can be part of a fully insured plan, which is where you go out to a group and then they come up with experience rating, and based on that experience, past claims and things of that nature, they come up with a premium rate, come up with deductions, things like that. As an organization, we are self-insured, which basically means that we take the premium dollars that we get from the employees, take the employer's premiums, and we put it into a bucket, and we have expenses, and the money comes out of that funding in order to help pay for the insurance. And a lot of times for employers of our size, that works out really well. And most years, that's worked out really well for us. And it's a benefit because we don't have a lot of additional fees, or we don't have additional expenses that are necessary for the plan. So it really is help for our organization, self-insured. We've looked at other options, but every year we looked at it, it's made more sense for us to be self-insured. With insurance, the way that it works is they'll look back over your past claims, and then they'll kind of project out how much they think that everything's going to increase. And I wanted to share the slide of our past claims and give you an example of maybe how much our premiums could go up, and just kind of depending on how the year's out. So the cost of the, let's see, which one's the laser? Here's the very top one, okay, right here. So this amount right here is the cost of the plan. This amount right here is what we budgeted for the plan. This is what the employees have paid in premiums, and then this is what the employer has paid in premiums into half. And if you look at the cost of the plan, you'll immediately see outweighs the budget, what we expect to pay. So we're actually running 113% right now of what our plan was budgeted. So what that means is we're paying more for claims than we have coming in through the premiums. And that's never a good thing. And a lot of that goes back to we have several large claims this year. And it's unfortunate that we have those, and it's difficult because those claims basically impact the entire plan and make the projected cost of the plan go up. But it's also what insurance is for, right? If you need insurance, you want to be able to make sure that you have it. And it's just unfortunate we've had some large claims this year. We've had 9 so far this year that have gone over what we call the stop loss deductible. That's anytime it goes over 100,000, it goes to a secondary insurance that helps reimburse our self-funded plan a little bit. And so we've had 9 of those claims this year that have gone over that $100,000 amount. And so what that means to us is if we don't make any changes this year, if we kind of stay status quo, we've worked with Mercer. Mercer is our broker, and they help us design our plans and everything. And we've worked with them closely, and they've come back with, after having the actuaries look at it and everything, they've said, if you just remain the same, no changes, then your increase in your employees should be 21%, or your increase to the premiums for the plan should be 21%. And so our goal today is not to incite fear or make you worried about the future, but really to just be as transparent as possible so that you're aware of some of the challenges that we're facing with our health insurance plan. And also to give you any chance to ask any questions that you might have. We are trying to be creative. We're trying to come up with different options to help so that we're not hopefully seeing that full 21% increase. There's a couple different things that we can look at. We may be able to up our stop loss deductible. We may have to look at upping the deductibles for the employees. But we want to be as creative as possible in trying to still provide a good plan for all the employees, but reduce some of those costs. So what questions do you have?
How much of those costs have come from Star Valley Medical Center specifically? So for example, one of our employees comes into the ER, has to have emergency surgery, so on. Have you guys considered the idea of maybe only charging employees like a lower amount, like at cost, in order to save the money that's getting submitted to the insurance or anything like that?
Yeah. So we have talked about a couple options. One of the options that Mercer presented to us is to do something with our urgent care and say that Star Valley Medical Center would only, the allowable amount would be, say, $40 or $50 if you go to the urgent care. Looking at those options, it didn't make a huge impact to the overall cost because the majority of the costs are large claims. As you know, most of those large claims are not here at the medical center. They're at University of Utah or some of the other facilities that ERMAC or some of those other facilities. But that is something that we're looking at, just trying to be as creative as possible in how to manage the costs. So, Bren, do you want to add anything to that, or Chad, or?
I guess the only thing in regards to your question, about 52% of the total cost is here at the hospital.
Okay, so around 50-ish%.
And as Trevor said, we are looking at the option of, for certain services, paying ourselves less. I mean, that doesn't really lower the premiums much, but it could provide that incentive for more people to use preventative care versus those large ones.
What other questions do you have?
Would we keep 2 separate plans?
So the question is, would we keep 2 separate plans? And right now the plan is to leave it as similar as possible, but we may have to look at the option of providing another plan, maybe a higher deductible plan for employees that want to try and reduce premium. We don't have anything set in stone at this point, but we've always had the 2 different plans in the past. You know, not an HSA doesn't fit everyone's needs, and so we try to be understanding of that and provide the options in the past, and we may have to look at additional options. I'm not sure where we're going to be at though at this point. So good questions. Any other questions? And I just want you to be aware that we understand that it impacts you as an employee. Working with Mercer, you know, they are a national organization. They have a lot of good ideas on things that we can do to help with this. But we're doing everything we can as an organization to try and make it as painless as possible. So, but we do want to be transparent about the fact that the costs on the plan have just gone up, and there's no such thing as a free lunch. So somebody's got to pay for it. So, all right. Any other questions?
I have one that it's not for medical insurance. It's like on our 401k plan. I just got that thing, and it looks like on our investments are getting opportunities because it's like we're with the previous company that we got to.
Actually, from what I've seen, and Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, I've noticed that at least my investments are a lot better with the current plans. They follow the stock market. I know Chad sees the stock market on a regular basis. Has there been a downturn in that recently, or
Not recently, but it shares all depends on how you have it comes out.
That's what I said, yeah.
What you had before versus now. But overall, everything was
I've been very impressed with the funds that retired by date, or anyone retired by 2045 or whatever. I've been impressed with those so far. Good question.
So on the insurance, I don't know if you're privy to it, but have you seen the news as far as our purchase to college, not those kids, and bring kids in there, you know, and they're just, they got a virus and stuff. I mean, you guys see a lot of abuse with staff bringing in things that really don't need to be in a position to kind of for urgent care. Are you privy to that kind of stuff?
So the question is, have we seen abuse of people using the plan and maybe don't need it? And I guess my answer to that would be that we know in healthcare that we utilize healthcare more than most individuals outside of private healthcare. But I don't think that that's a big problem, just because the nature of the claim are things that people can't really avoid. I mean, we're talking about cancers and long-term illnesses that people can't. They're kind of unavoidable things. Now, I'm sure there's some people that do take advantage of the plan and come in for things because we're in healthcare that maybe they don't need it for. But I think for the most part, it's just those large parties that have the biggest impact. Bren, anything you say other than that?
I would also say that there's no way for us to look at that, and so we don't think there's abuse there, but we also don't have a way to evaluate that.
We don't have like call a nurse. I mean, like right now, I can't call the person zero to voicemail. Our staff cannot get information over the phone. I mean, if you had a dial a nurse, you know, you could go through, this is what we got, we got the bell, and this is what we need to do. And you don't need them in the phone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that might help. Or somebody we got to pay that person.
Good point. Anything else? All right. Thank you.
All right. So we just completed our annual audit, and if you recall, we're on fiscal year, we're not on numbers. So our fiscal year ends June 30th. And our auditor is here second week of September, and we're finishing the report now. And a representative from the DCA will be at the November board meeting to present the audit to the board. And now I'm just kind of giving you an overview of 2018, what the auditors went through and compared to previous years, 2017. Information admission for fiscal year 13, we were at 758, which is down 7% from 17. Now, those of you who work on the floor probably will be saying, how can that be? Because I worked just as hard this year as I did last year. And there's just as many people on the floor. Outpatient, maybe some outpatient folks got sent to the floor for a while for recovery, possibly some more observation, those kind of things. But for inpatient admissions that we report to CMS, the cost reports, that's the number we have. Surgery visits, we had 1,997, which was 12% higher than it was in the previous year. So our surgery department did well in increasing. Now these next three, they kind of go hand in hand. We've got our ER visits at 3,105, it's down 10% from last year. Our urgent care visits, if you remember, we started urgent care about mid-October of 17. So we ended up with 2,779 visits there. Our clinic visits at 31,535, that was down 8%. So you've got your ER visits and your clinic visits that are down, but we started a new service, urgent care visits. So, and we expected those clinic and ER visits to go down with urgent care. So we have less acute folks going to the ER, urgent care, which was the plan, and they're saving a lot more money that way. And some of the clinic visits are going to the ER too. But overall, when you add them all together, we are getting increase overall visits. I don't know exactly how that number is. So, and then going to the numbers here, gross operating revenue, everything that we generated, in fiscal year 18, just over $70 million. We budgeted 66, so we came in $4 million more than what we had budgeted. We were a little concerned about this because when we put the budget together, we had Dr. Talarico here with us, and then if you recall, he left about August. And so we were a little concerned we wouldn't be able to meet that $66 million revenue budget, but we actually surpassed it by $4 million. So we really had a good year last year for services. Operating expenses came in at $44.9 million. That's salaries, wages, benefits, supplies, all those fun things. We budgeted 44.3, so we came in a little over on our expenses. Now this operating income, I want you to think of that as cash generated. So it's a quick, dirty way to look at, when you look at operating income, it's how much cash did we end up with after we paid all of our operating expenses. So operating income came in at 4.7, we budgeted 3.6. So you can look at this as in 2018 we had a capital budget of $3.2 million that we spent. So we generated enough cash to cover that capital expenditure. And then that left us with about 1.5 million, but we were also able to pay down our principal on our debt with. So we were able to actually pay for capital, pay for our debt financing with what was actually generated, and still had some to stick in some reserve a little bit. And as you know, that reserve comes in handy when, hey, we want to go to Alpine, we need some money to buy some land. We have some reserves there to go and do those kind of things. Non-operating income, most of that is from our tax revenue. Probably 90% of that is tax revenue. We get about 670. Net income then, our net income came in at 2.4 million. We budgeted 1.3. So fiscal year 2018 came in above our budget that we had expected, that we had anticipated, and better than what we thought, of course, because of Dr. Talarico leaving. So our profit margin came in at 4.9, that's net income toward, compared to your net revenue. Came in at 4.9, we had budgeted 2.8. Our days in AR, those are our days in accounts receivable. How long does it take once a bill's sent out for us to get that cash through the door? And we're about $45 on average sending a bill out and getting the cash in. Our billing department does a great job doing that, and they rely a lot on you folks to get your documentation and all that fun paperwork done. Because if they don't have that, they can't send the bill out, and then these AR days go up. And the quicker you can get your cash turned around, of course, you've got that cash coming in the door, and then also if you have problems with collections, you can get things sent to like collections agencies quicker to try and collect on. Cash on hand, this is if we didn't have anybody come through the doors, if everybody was healthy 100%, how many days could the hospital operate without any revenue coming in? And fiscal year 18, we had 113 days cash on hand. The average for hospitals in the far west is about 60 days. Or, yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, 60 days for hospitals our size in the west here. Okay, Joe. So that's a comparison of 18 to 17. Now we'll just look, how are we doing the first 2 months? I mean, this 2 months doesn't give you a really good indication at this point, but we've got July and August, our inpatient admissions, who are 63, 62. So we're down 11% from where we were at this time last year on that. Surgery visits were up 15% from where we were last year for these first 2 months. And then you can see the trends again on these next 3, the ER visits, urgent care visits, and clinic visits. ER visits are down 20%, and the clinic visits are down 5%. And our urgent care is, we never started until October, if you remember, so I don't have any trending to see how that, what increase we're seeing or anything in that. So you can see that that is anticipated that would happen. Gross revenues for the first 2 months, we came in at 12.1, we budgeted 12.4, so we're just slightly under what we had budgeted for our gross revenues by 2%. The operating expenses were 7% less on those expenses than what we anticipated, so that's a good thing. So thanks for all of you trying to keep track of some of those expenses and watching overtime and those kind of things. So operating income, so far we've generated roughly $72,000 in cash in these first 2 months. That's the 309, I'm sorry, that was just for July, so 309. Our net income is we have a loss of $67,000 for these first 2 months. We budgeted 206, so we are 67% better than what we thought in these first 2 months. So we do have a minus 0.8% profit margin. For the whole year, we budgeted a 1.6 profit margin. Our days in AR at 45, and we want to try and stay at least below 50. Average AR days for hospitals our size is about 62, so we are below that. And then our cash days on hand, it's dropped a little bit. This last month it dropped below the 100 because we made some payments to Hogan for the remodeling, those kind of things. And we were waiting on some Blue Cross sent payment of $200,000 to some facility in Texas. They did electronic fund transfer to them instead of us. So some of those things affect that day's cash on hand. We did get our money back though, 1st of September. So any questions on finances? All right.
Thanks, Chad. I'm gonna add that Russ trend in here. So this is just a quick update on where we're at with construction, and if you want the detail, then Russ has it. But just the update on the vein clinic. Of course, they're in the clinic, it's operational, and they're really just doing some fine tuning.
which isn't unusual when you move into a new space. The space is different. This here, we've had some sound issues as far as it's too quiet. We have a lot of background noise and mechanical noise in this building, but in that building it's so quiet that everyone can hear each other. And so they've added some additional insulation above the ceiling. I think they're putting a noise machine in the attic, and so they continue to just try to add some additional noise, and they'll keep testing it to make sure that there's enough background noise so that it's confidential. So that's the update. The rehab has moved to the old library.